In the last video, we talked about the 3 moments we have to look at when analyzing page speed. The first one is the time it takes for the server to send data to the browser after the browser requests a page. This moment is measured with the time to first byte metric. Next, we need to understand how fast the browser renders a page on client devices with metrics like first contentful paint and largest contentful paint. Lastly, it's important to track how quickly a page becomes interactive by looking at metrics like first input delay. In this video, we'll do a short overview of the problems that affect these moments and list popular strategies for dealing with them. Don't worry if some of the concepts sound too complicated right now. This video is only meant to give you a useful framework for thinking about page speed. We'll explain all techniques in detail in the following episodes. Let's get started with the first moment. Your server's response has to be fast, so the browser gets everything it needs on time. Server latency is usually caused by 3 things. The first one is a slow host server. This is a common problem with shared hosting plans, so it's worth investing in dedicated hosting to ensure you don't share your server's processor and memory with others. Secondly, using too many third-party plugins and libraries also hurts performance since it increases the amount of code that has to be executed. Reducing a site's dependence on them lowers resource consumption and improves the time to first byte. The third issue is a lack of caching layers. Without caching layers, your server will have to handle all incoming requests, which can easily overload it. That's why an efficient caching policy and a CDN can dramatically speed up response times. These techniques let you save a copy of your site's resources directly in the browser's cache or on a server that's close to the user. During the second moment, the browser has to render the page as fast as possible. The number and weight of code files, images, and other resources can cause huge problems here. The more resources we send to the browser, the harder we make its job. That's why techniques like code compression, minification, and image optimization are a must. We also need to help the browser prioritize critical resources instead of processing everything at once. Image lazy loading is a big win in that regard. This technique helps the browser load only the images that the visitors are currently looking at, which massively reduces initial page load time. Besides images, CSS and JavaScript can also slow down rendering. These resources block the browser's main thread, which is a huge problem, since the main thread is responsible for many tasks, including rendering the page and responding to user interactions. If we keep it blocked, the main thread can't perform these crucial actions. That's why we built a custom resource loader for NitroPack. It rearranges the way resources are fed to the main thread to reduce blocking time. For the third and final moment, we need to ensure that a page becomes interactive fast. Interactivity depends on the browser's main thread, so sending fewer and smaller code files and optimizing images is also beneficial here. Besides that, it helps to manually inspect and optimize the CSS and JavaScript code you're shipping. Obviously, this requires more time and specialized skills, but the performance gains can be huge. Even a single line of inefficient JavaScript code can make the site significantly slower or even non-responsive. In the next episode of Page Speed 101, we'll dive deeper into important concepts and strategies for improving time to first byte, including web caching and content delivery networks. Stay tuned.